All right, guys, we're back with a fresh build for you guys, and I've been in the lab working on this one for a couple of days now because I wanted to create the perfect urban environment build, one that takes advantages of all the things that urban environments offer that we've been doing so much on the illuminate side. So what I've come up with is a build that is going to be shooting a crap ton of bullets, going to be causing a lot of explosions, and more importantly, it's going to be giving us some peak democratic fun. Anyways, this build is called Urban Warrior. Let's do it.
Say hello to democracy! For prosperity! Requesting sentry. Calling down a sentry.
Okay, so jumping into our one and only crowd control item for this build is going to be the gas grenade. Now, it is a bit risky running just the gas grenade as our only crowd control item, but I did it for good reason because we are going to be relying on the supply pack to keep us full up on ammo as well as resupplies. So we're going to have plenty of things to keep our grenades going, plus the urban environment also offers many resupply things on the ground to be able to get extra grenades and ammo, so that's another added factor there. But essentially the reason why we're bringing the gas grenades specifically is because it is just great at controlling the bug breaches. I absolutely love spamming these into a bug breach. They're going to disorientate the bugs coming out. You're going to get a massive kill count because the damage over time is enough to kill a lot of the various bugs that are coming out of there. And rather than the chargers coming out full bore, we're able to like get them disoriented a little bit coming out. We're able to take them down with some other various things, and your teammates are able to contribute as well. And then more importantly, this is going to help us protect our sentries because we are bringing in a couple of sentries, so we can do that, as well as we can throw the gas grenade to get away at our feet. It's just a really good utility tool and a great crowd control option. And it's my favorite one and a lot of people's favorite ones against the bugs right now. So our primary source of damage is going to be coming from the stalwart machine gun. Now this is basically like a primary weapon. It's not really a stratagem, but it's in the stratagem slot. But it's an absolutely amazing horde clear tool. It has high RPM, great reload, and just in general, it feels badass to use because it's just shooting off a ton of rounds and be able to kill a lot of enemies at once. Now this thing is not a medium penetration weapon, which I know is a lot of people's complaints with this weapon, but we don't really need it because there's not very many medium level units on the bug side. And the one medium unit that we do have that's confirmed is the hive guards because they have the little shield plating. And essentially we can just shoot at their armpit area and they'll die very quickly anyways. As for the brute commanders, which have some weird armor plating, if you just shoot them in the face, they'll die really quickly because this thing will just take their head off and then kill them very quickly. So against all the various bug enemies outside of the elite units, we're going to absolutely eviscerate them with the stalwart, and it's really, really good. Jumping into our secondary source of damage is going to be the machine gun sentry. Now the machine gun sentry is just great because it's going to bring us some much needed medium arm penetration, which is going to help us kill a lot of the bugs faster. Has a fast cooldown, so that means we can use this quite a lot. And then more importantly, it's going to be great in the streets of these urban environments because we can just line these up at the end of streets and just let them go to town. We can put them on hills if we're in a hilly environment like we are with the current planet we're fighting on. So there's just a lot of different things to be able to do with the sentry, which is great. Just the best thing you can do for the sentry though is put it on an elevated advantage because that will make it do a lot better and the bugs will have a harder time getting to it. And then the second thing you can do is just protect it. You can use your gas grenade, you can protect it yourself with your stalwart, or use your other sentry to be able to protect it as well. But just keep this thing alive because it's going to be able to do a ton of damage in these urban environments. It's going to help you with the breaches. It's a really, really good sentry. Our primary source of anti-tank is going to be the GP31 ultimatum. Now the ultimatum is just a pocket precision strike. Essentially this does the same amount of damage and has the same exact damage profile as a precision strike, so it's going to be able to one-shot either Bile Titans or Chargers if you hit them in the face. Now if you hit them in the body, especially with the Bile Titans, it's a little bit inconsistent. So with the Chargers, they will probably die regardless of hitting them in the body or not. But with the Bile Titans, if you hit them in the side, it'll just take off some plating and won't kill them all the time unless they're already weak. So you definitely want to make sure you're direct impacting their face with this weapon. And that's the key thing. You just got to direct impact these elite units to be able to kill them fully. Now, with the urban environment, there's a lot of various ammo breaks around, so we're going to be able to keep this fully stocked. But again, we're going to be running a supply pack, so that's going to help us as well keep this fully stocked. But just use this thing as much as possible. That's the biggest tip I can give you with this thing, because there's going to be a lot of elites on the map, and this is going to be able to make short work of them. It's very, very good. Our secondary source of anti-tank is going to be the rocket sentry. This is also going to double as a damage tool for us, because it's going to do a crap ton of damage to all the various bug units, but it's really, really good as an anti-tank tool, meaning that if you line this up with the machine gun sentry and you're protecting it with your gas grenades or whatever, it's going to do a ton of work. It's very ammo efficient, has a ton of rockets to shoot. It's also very good at prioritizing targets and will just blow apart a lot of enemies. It's just going to make so many things much easier, especially if you place this on an elevated advantage. You got to be careful because it will knock you over with its little rocket shots if you're standing behind it. I like to stand on top of it sometimes. It really helps me protect it. And then the other thing too is you got to be careful because it will kill your machine gun sentry if it's not placed well. But outside of that, this thing is just very, very good and going to cause a ton of havoc and be able to kill Bile Titans and Chargers extremely fast along with your ultimatum. So our primary source of objective clearing is going to be the crossbow. Now the crossbow is just an absolutely fantastic weapon in general, so it can actually do a crap ton of damage to the units. So if you want to spam this at bug breaches, I think that's a fantastic idea because throw gas grenades in there, you spam them with crossbows, the breaches with crossbows, as well as you have your turret set up. You're going to be going to town, but this is another form of medium armor pen for us, so that way we can actually deal with the various units as well because it has medium armor pen and very high damage. But we're going to primarily be using this to help us close the bug holes. It's very good at being able to close the bug holes because it has a lot of ammo in the magazines. You have a lot of reserve ammo with our armor passive that we're going to be using, and just in general, it's just very, very good for objective clearing. And honestly, it's not really the best use case for it, but at the same time, it can do it, and we're going to be using it for that. But we will be spamming this at various times to help us deal with big packs of enemies and also help us with the bug breaches. So in general, this is a fantastic option just to have as a objective tool, but again, it is so freaking good at ad clearing as well. So as I mentioned several times before, the thing that's going to bring this all together is a supply pack. Now the supply pack is going to be able to help us keep our ultimatum going as well as keep our gas grenades going, which are two fundamental important aspects of this build. Now we will be able to find various ammo breaks like I mentioned before, and the supply pack is just kind of like a just in case we're on the move type thing to refill us, but it's going to be great for keeping our stims up, for just keeping us going in general. It's just so good. It's not going to give us a full resupply, but it will give us half of one, and I just love it. And plus the cooldown is very good as well, so you'll be getting multiple of these in a dive, which is great, and you can refill these from the resupplies. In general, this is going to be great for yourself and also to keep your team going, because there's going to be plenty of times where your team is going to need an ammo break as well. So for our armor passive, we're going to be running the siege ready armor passive because this is going to give us extra spare magazines with our stalwarts, give us extra spare mags with our crossbow, and it's going to be able to also help us reload those weapons a lot faster as well. So it's very, very good for that. And then also the best part about this, we're going to be running the heavy armor variant, which is going to give us maximum protection against a lot of those hits, because what a lot of people are finding out with the bugs, especially with how many there are in these new Gloom bugs and new Predator strains, is we're going to be taking a lot more hits from these guys. And being able to take more hits with heavy armor has been very useful. We don't really need light armor to be running around these urban maps, so having heavy armor here is going to be absolutely great for being able to help us stay alive a little bit longer, and on top of that, all the regular benefits that we get from Siege Ready. It's just an absolutely fantastic passive. So to give you a final overview for this build and just give you a snapshot of how you're going to be playing this, so again, we are very light on CC options, so do not be scared to spam this gas grenade, and do not be scared to resupply these with the supply pack, even if you're full up on everything else, because you're going to be throwing a lot of these. They're going to be crucial for helping you get away from various situations in the urban environments. They're going to be crucial for you helping close up the bug breaches when they actually happen. It's just going to be a very big utility tool, so you don't ever want to be out of these things. So use your supply packs, find them in the urban environments. You're gonna be relying so heavily on these for this build. Another key aspect of this build is you want to stay mobile. That's why I picked the stalwart as the machine gun rather than the regular machine gun, because personally I like the regular machine gun just a little bit better, but the stalwart is great because it can actually keep you on the move, because this thing does operate like a primary weapon. You can reload it while you're going, which is great. Now the stalwart again is the essential horde clear tool for this build, meaning that we're going to be spamming this a lot, meaning you're going to be shooting a lot of rounds at these various enemies. You're going to kill them very fast. You're going to be able to kill large packs of them. Stalwart is going to be great for chewing through the bugs, and do not be scared to shoot this thing at charger butts if you want, because it will do some good damage there and actually hurt them a little bit, as well as shooting the Bile Titans' stomachs to be able to make them stop shooting acid if you want to in a pinch. But again, the main tool for this thing is being able to go at any of the units on the bug side outside of those elite units. That's not really what it's strong at, but it's just so much freaking fun. And again, you're gonna have a supply pack to be able to resupply ammo, so feel free to go ham on this thing and use it as much as possible. So another big thing is when you're fighting in these urban environments, you want to take advantage of the different lanes, because with the bugs, they have all these little towers and things built into the city, so it's really easy to kind of isolate some lanes, especially for your sentries. So if you have a long street, just throw your sentries down the street, kind of staggered on each other, run past them and just let them go to town on the various bugs. Now you can stand on top of them like I mentioned before for some added protection. But again, the streets are your best friend. You're going to be able to throw down gas grenades and be able to protect your sentries. You're going to be able to get a lot of kills in general, be able to take care of elites very easily. So the other thing about the urban environments that you got to keep in mind is that there's a lot of bug holes in here. So you're going to want to make sure you have plenty of crossbow shots. You're going to want to place your sentries at various ends of these nests to be able to help take out units while you're working on the bug holes with your team. So in general, the big things with the sentries in the urban environments are try to get them on the end of streets to be able to take care of a lot of bugs. Try to place them at the end of the nests to be able to help you support your team, as well as kill some of the elite enemies. And more importantly, where you can, get them on an elevated advantage and watch them work, because they're going to do a crap ton of damage when they're up above the enemy. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of using sentries in the urban environment. A couple of more notes about the ultimatum. This is the ultimate high risk, high reward anti-tank tool. Now, there is a bit of a learning curve with this thing and it will take some practice, but once you understand how it works, it's really, really effective. So the biggest thing about it is you want to make sure you're paying attention to how the arc works. Now you can do things to offset the arc and get some more distance, like diving, like using the emote if you want to, or just any other various things you can get some more distance. But in a lot of cases, it's sometimes better to get them in range so that way you can judge it a little bit better rather than trying to force it, because these are pretty valuable shots and it's kind of annoying when you hit a Bile Titan and he doesn't die. So just take your time, line your shots up, understand that you have things around you. You can throw gas grenades around just to be able to help control the enemies while you're focusing on trying to kill a Bile Titan. But as for the chargers, they're pretty easy to kill. You just got to hit them generally. The impalers are kind of wacky. You gotta wait. I would wait for them to drop their head in the ground and then hit them with an ultimatum shot. But overall, this thing is going to erase a lot of bad situations for you. And if you pair that with your rocket sentry, like I said, anti-tank is going to be super easy. All right, so that's a complete guide for the urban warrior build. I really hope that you guys enjoy this build, because it's been a lot of fun to run in the urban bug maps. But anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about this build below, and leave down in the comments below what build you guys are using as well. And check out the other videos that are on screen, because they're going to be very helpful for you as well. Anyways, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.